what's the academy doing at the moment? You know, how long does this continue? How did it really affect it? I think I've made my point.
But Tony, if they didn't have a plan, if they sack Unai Emery, and they don't have a plan in place, which you can see after these 2 games, what is the point of sacking Unai Emery? They would have been now just sit inside with him, wouldn't they?
I agree with you, but we're not the ones making the decisions, are we?
Yeah.
Well, the immediate future for Arsenal is West Ham away. They will go into that game on Monday night on the back of 1 point from 6 under Freddie Ljungberg.
Well, Freddie, you heard the boos at the end from the crowd. Tough night to take for the supporters and no doubt for you.
Of course it is disappointing, but we have to keep on going. Players are low on confidence, I think people can see that, but we had a bit of reaction, I felt, in the second half. We had a little discussion at half-time, and we had a good reaction for the second half, but we need to start the game like that. That can't be at half-time, and that's the biggest disappointment I have. At least second half, they gave it a crack. That's tough.
It's Arsenal's worst start to a season since the 70s. When you look around that dressing room, you see the talent. How do you explain that?
Yeah, that easy, anyone would know. But we're in a difficult situation. We've lost a lot of games. The confidence has gone down. That's the main thing. If you look at how we started the game, no energy, we were very flat.
That's confidence.
In my opinion, it's confidence. Of course, we are. It's my job to get them to be more aggressive or have more energy. But at the same time, I think they have that. We start the game, they have energy, but I think it's a bit of confidence.
I suppose the hard thing as well is to explain having equalised, got back in the game. You then let it slip away.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of counter. They play us on one of the sides. We lose the marking in the centre of inside the box, and they get an easy header, but a good header. So of course we thought we had won it on the VAR thing, and then that happened. So yeah, a lot of things to think about.
Do you think the players, having been close to them now for a week or so, the first team players, are taking enough responsibility, or are aware of their responsibility, and obviously Unai Emery losing his job, and that they're the ones who are feeling as much as maybe some of the supporters are?
Players do as good as they can. They are a bit low on confidence, and that's the main thing we have to fix.
In terms of the job, it doesn't help you, I suppose, in terms of tonight moving forward. If you wanted the job, you want to make a point. Have you got any idea of the timeline the board are looking at in terms of appointing a new manager?
No, not been told that at all. I'm going from game-to-game basis and trying to help as much as I can. And as you saw today, I need to try to fix the confidence a bit here.
Would you like the job, though, permanently?
It's an honour just to do this at the moment, and it's from game-to-game basis, and that's my comment.
Freddie, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Game-to-game basis, West Ham away, as I say, in the Monday Night Football next for Arsenal. Then the champions, Manchester City, at home. Let's deal with the first goal tonight.
I'd get my technical analyst to go, right, Luis, you mark him. Mustafa, Mustafi, sorry, he's not even there, is he? Socrates, you mark him, man for man, and stop them getting free headers and mark them up, and everyone knows their responsibility. When you play zonal, it's like after you, and this team doesn't need any more indecision. They need to know their role and responsibility, so you just make it really simple for them and say, look, you mark him. You know, simple instructions. We're going to go man for man. We have someone in the hole. I like a bit of both. You know, man in the hole, but go man for man and stop them scoring.
What did you make of this, Owen?
Well, I mean, essentially you got the three centre-backs, and they're all, what, 6'4", 6'5". And you got the 3 attackers actually marking them somehow. Aubameyang, Lacazette, and young Joe Willock. So if we just run it on a bit, essentially they got a problem there because they're way bigger. So, and as Tony made a good point, once they get a run in, Dan Burns 6'7", by the way. So good luck for Lacazette, who's probably, what, 5'9", at the back post, so he's actually got no chance. But the second phase is almost even worse. They're going to look at Connolly. How can he stand there on his own in Arsenal's ground? There's David Luiz and Soccer. They're not even marking him. You know, at some point, he's their centre forward. Somebody's got to pick him up. In Tony's teams, he would have never stood there unmarked. And they're lucky that he actually, if we run it again, he should score. He takes a bit of a heavy touch. And in the end, he doesn't score, and then it just falls to Webster. But really...
They need to go man-for-man marking.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Really straightforward.
There's not enough leaders in there to do zonal.
Exactly.
Just say, you mark him, and that's...
It's okay when
that.
you've got seasoned professionals that are 6'5" that I played with, and we could have gone zonal and say, come on, take us on, because we all know we have a role and responsibility. But in that setup, the team that are playing at the moment, they need very clear instructions. Man for man, you on him, don't let him score. Simple as that.
But this isn't anything new. I mean, since the start of the season, can you believe, watching games, that Arsenal do enough work on the training pitch on that kind of thing, Tony?
Well, there was one criticism with United that I did have, is that he didn't work enough on set plays. But I had that criticism with Arsenal as well, to be honest with you, because I think you get what you did. You know, third of all goals are still coming from set plays. You saw with Brighton, we saw Arsenal today. You know, third of all goals. It's an important part of your team play. You know, you need to get that. You make good in both boxes, takes you up the table. It takes you up to the table. You know, we can get above these teams just by being great in both boxes. Very simple, clear instructions, man for man, one near post zone. You know, you can be effective in both areas.
Lots to work on. Freddie Ljungberg there talking about confidence in the short term. West Ham away, City at home. How does he get a little bit of confidence back into this group of players, Owen?
Well, I think he said the players are showing confidence, that's why they were flat to start the game. No, I don't agree with that. We've all played football for a long time. If you're short on confidence, you run around more because you try and work yourself into the game. If you just sit and wait for something to happen, it's only going to get worse. You're going to make yourself uneasy. The fans started to boo after 25 minutes because they could feel it too. But I think it was the start of the second half, for 15 minutes, they had so much urgency and intensity, and they looked really good. And the fans, they got on side and they got back into the game. But then they just fell away again. So first things first, these boys got to work. Forget about keeping the ball in possession and the Arsenal way. Run around. You know, run around and compete and tackle and get the fans
so simple, though, doesn't it? I mean,
it's a fantastic point. It's the only point. You know, I lost my 2-1, my debut, but I run around, I gave 100%, and the crowd loved it. That's all they've got to do. It does sound so simple. It's front foot, like I said before the game, front foot, get the ball in Brighton's half. You go run around, put pressure on the ball, make some tackles. The crowd will be 100% with you.
Well, there's only one team that were on the front foot for large parts of that game tonight, and that was Brighton. When we come back, we will hear from that man. He'd done it in Sweden with Österlunds at the Emirates. He's now done it with Brighton in the Premier League. No wonder he's smiling about their return to winning ways tonight. Brighton manager to win an away game at Arsenal. He's no doubt delighted. Here's his post-match thoughts.
Well, Graham, you won here with Östersunds 2-1. You've won here with Brighton 2-1. How do the results compare? You must be delighted tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a wonderful feeling now. We've had 3 tough games, no points, so it's nice to bounce back with a win at a place like this. It's a nice feeling.
What was key? Because Arsenal obviously responded at the start of the second half.
Yeah, they did. I thought first half we did really well. Lots of good things. We survived, I think, one moment. Matty makes a good save, but lots of our play were good. We pressed well, defended well, kept the ball when we had to, and tried to create some things. Yeah, and then you have to respond. Of course, you know that when you're coming away from home, especially a club like this, there's going to be a response. There was, and then we had to dig in a little bit. I think adjusted a little bit tactically, and then sort of grew back into it. Obviously, nice to get the second goal and hang on. So, very pleased.
And a real moment of quality for the winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice finish, great ball. Aaron Moy, I thought, was fantastic all game. Just unselfish with his play, and then to add that bit of quality at the end. I thought all the players were fantastic.
It's Arsenal. It's Brighton's first ever win at Arsenal, which is quite something for the club, isn't it? And obviously beating an established top 6 in inverted commas club.
Well, it's a nice moment for us. It's a nice 3 points, and it gives us a little bit of belief. I think we've played 5 of the big 6 away from home. I think we've got better. We played well against Liverpool, but nothing today. I thought it was a good game from us. Not perfect, but you can't be perfect. But we showed enough character, I think, and like I said, the players were amazing. Real courage, real bravery, and quality as well.
And what do you hope it gives the players in that dressing room now, looking forward as you go into a very, very busy month?
Well, hopefully it's confidence, it's belief, it's carrying on the work that we've been doing. We haven't been a million miles away. We've played some good teams recently, and sometimes in the Premier League you have to zoom out a little bit of the results and see the bigger picture. But
you still need to win the games ultimately.
Of course, you can't keep saying being unlucky and not getting the points. You have to get them. We know that. But our performances mean that you can, if we carry on improving, then we can pick up points in this league.
And do you think as well tonight you were able to quieten what is a fragile atmosphere around this stadium, that helped your cause too?
Well, we tried to do that, and I think you have to have courage to do that, because you know that if you're making a mistake, they've got players in the top end of the pitch that can really hurt you. So credit to our players, they tried, they did what I think an away team has to do, try to frustrate and pull out their pressure. But like I said, it still takes courage from the players, and that's what I'm really proud of.
Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, he used that word courage a few times in that interview, didn't he? What if you were a current Brighton player? What kind of belief would that give you to get a result tonight? Because, as you said, just been to Anfield and Old Trafford.
I think they've been to lots of places and played the same football. They went to the Etihad and almost had the same
Yeah, but
amount of...
tonight they've actually got